Hello. Hi. Welcome to an episode of the Just Okay podcast. Today, we're crafting. I'm painting a little $1 frame I got at, what the fuck is it called? Walmart. Got it at Walmart. I get a lot of shit from Walmart. I love Target, don't get me wrong, but apparently they're on the wrong side of history or something, so like I don't go there as much. Also, Walmart has some cheaper items. So I'd be going to Walmart more these days. It does feel a little contradictory of who I feel I am. But that's okay. You grow up sometimes and you gotta go where you gotta go. I don't really have a table though to work on. So I got this little, look at this. Got a little Lazy Susan yesterday. My mother's name is Susan, so she has an issue. And same with my aunt. They both have issues being called a Lazy Susan. But I got this yesterday. I was like, oh, this is perfect for my clay arts and crafts. $3. I was looking at IKEA for a new one of these. Minimum $14. Same with online, anywhere. Walmart as well. So I'm making a makeshift table. I think is this the right height for you? You guys can see now. It's going to be turning though. That's going to be annoying for me, but you guys, I don't know. Will it be annoying for you? We'll see. I got some fresh paints at Walmart as well. What I love about this paint section at Walmart, 53 cents per each one of these bad boys I got. I love it. Are they good quality? I don't fucking give a shit. They get the job done. They get her done. And then I bought this online. It's just paint primer. I don't know if it really makes a big difference, but I like to do it. Yeah, I haven't been wanting to podcast because all I want to do in my free time is craft. All I want to do is craft, you guys. I'm going hard in the paint. Why be good at one thing when you could just excel at making random little trinkets? I've been making frames. Sorry, we're going to do a show and tell. I made this. It's a little frame. I'm going to put a Polaroid on it. I used polyacrylic as a sealant on this. I used UV resin on some of my other stuff. Yeah. I go hard in the paint with my painted items. We're going to go hard in the paint today too. So we're just going to do the base layer of this little thing. And I don't know, so I craft, as I said before, I craft mac and cheese, I craft crafts. Witchcraft I don't do because I'm too Hispanic for that. My dad, I will say, he's the whitest Mexican you'll ever meet besides his children, but my dad is one thing that they fucking has a superstition. He does not fuck with spirits like that. My dad saw Insidious once, didn't sleep for a month. No, it was Paranormal Activity. That was Insidious came out after Paranormal Activity. I'm pretty positive that franchise started after. I also am not I don't think Paranormal Activity was ever really that scary. I think it was just like the first of that type of genre. Or maybe like security cam footage type. I don't know. Because there was also Blair Witch crap, but apparently those people didn't know what was happening. Like, there's a lot of drama surrounding how that was filmed. But yeah, I watched Black Phone 2 yesterday, which there didn't need to be a second. There didn't need it. Black Phone 1 was corny enough. I saw it with Dylan back in South Texas. It was so funny because going to the movie theaters in South Texas, it will say the closest one is across the border, and you're like, oh yeah, so close. Just gotta go through, border security with a passport to get to the movies. I'm good. I guess now you can use just your ID to go over, but at the time I'm pretty sure you still needed a passport. And I was just like, we're gonna drive 20 minutes instead of 10 to Mexico. And we saw Black Phone 2. I was on 1. We saw Black Phone 1 there. I was on shrooms. I don't know if Dylan was, but I took a lot of shrooms back in the day. I used to be a big shroom girl. I still love shrooms. I just don't do them incredibly often. Because like, you shouldn't be frying your brain with that to feel good. I've gone through several big druggy phases of my life. I don't use drugs anymore. And by several big druggy phases, I think I just mean from the ages of like 18 to 23, 24. Like, I still enjoy marijuana, and I just got into nicotine, as y'all know, them nicotine toothpicks, but like, I never really, drug-wise, I was never like heavily into drugs, but I did do drugs with friends. Not that shrooms is a hard drug or anything, it's just not, but I just don't use it as often as I used to. Like, I remember there was a phase in 2020, 2021 where at comedy shows, you could just find shrooms being passed around anywhere. But now it's not that way anymore, and it's a lot better for my mind. It's less mushy. I don't know. I haven't done too many drugs in my life. Thank God, you know, like I did, you know, I was a fan of Coke. I wouldn't say I was like a huge addict yet, but I could see it continuing to go down that path, so I stopped. Thank God for that. And I'm really proud of that, because I know I mean, people in my family have gone through that and they didn't stop. And so I am proud I got to a point early on where I was like, let's pump the brakes, bad boy. I'm the bad boy in that situation. So I'm proud in that aspect. I do think it is unfortunate some people don't have that voice in their head, and I'm fortunate that I had that voice in my head. Yeah. I don't know. It's really sad. I became the biggest bummer on Coke when I was using it, because I would do a bump and then say just like ominous shit. Because it wasn't the last time I did Coke, but it was like the beginning of doing Coke and not being in the right state of mind. I mean, you're never in the right state of mind if you're doing that, but like I did blow, and then I just remember just like, because I was on shrooms. It was a horrible night, horrible situation. Just not a good state of mind. On a ton of shrooms, doing a little bit of blow, and immediately I'm like in my head, and I'm like looking at this like antique smoke, I guess, vending machine, a smoke machine, I don't know, but like an antique one of those, and I'm just like, look at this like machine, and in my head I'm just like, so I'm like, I literally say out loud, I hope I don't end up like my family. And that's not the type of person people want to be doing drugs with, because that's just not fun. That's not like a fun vibe. You're not like bringing anything to the function. Like you're bringing negative thoughts to the function, and people are already like, we don't want an OD of, you know, fentanyl. So it's like, no one wants to hear, well, what if you don't live up to your potential? Because that's my biggest fear. Whenever I was doing those Coke, just like that, my biggest fear is to not live up to my potential and to just be wasted space. And like, I would just like, kept thinking, this is either the moment you stop or you keep going and you go down a bad path. So I didn't success. I kept doing it for like a year and a half, or like a year after that. We got this pretty blue I made. I kept doing Coke for like a year after that, because I kept trying it and seeing if it would be a different result, but every time I did it, it was the same result. I should have waited for this to dry a little more. Oh well. It was the same result where I would do Coke and then I was just the biggest fucking bummer, and no one wants to be around a bad fucking vibe on blow, and everyone on blow is a bad vibe. Are you kidding me? Like, you may think you're having fun, but like, you're a fucking bummer to be around if you're not doing blow. But yeah, I just couldn't I'm so fortunate that I stopped doing it. I know people who don't have that wake up call. Like, it was really fun, but it was also like, I have ADHD, so like, it didn't even affect me the same way, to where like, I felt incredible while doing it. I kind of just felt like a baseline, I guess. I like could still eat on Coke, so it was like, what's the point of doing this if it's not even gonna like make me skinny? Whenever I see fat people do Coke and there's like where they get fat while doing Coke, I'm like, you should just not do this. This drug clearly does not like you. Because that's like the only benefit I could say is getting skinny, but you know, that's just me. Maybe I'm just, you know, too much of a eating disordered brain, but like that to me is the only benefit of it. Like, people injecting themselves for Ozempic. I personally, again, if I was maybe in a different budget where like that would make sense, I would be less of a hater. But because I'm on the outside, I'm going to be a hater. And it's not for people who need it. I think people who need it absolutely take it. However, it's been marketed more recently towards like, I saw an Instagram ad for it and it said lose your last 5 pounds and a pig emoji, something about you get to skip the gym as well. And it was like, y'all aren't targeting people who need Ozempic. You're targeting insecurities of being fat. And you're really just banking on the fact that like American women, or just like women in general, not even American women. I think every society has weird beauty standards, I'm sure. But like you're targeting just like deep insecurities to sell a medication that has great benefits to people who need it, but now to people who don't need it because you want to make a buck. And I mean, every time I see an ad, not every time, but like at least 2 times so far I've seen an ad, I have checked to see if my insurance will cover it. I don't have insurance anymore though, and I'm glad my old insurance didn't cover it. Because thank God, you know, I could be having weird health issues related to that. But that's just my thoughts on that. I don't know. It's targeting people who don't have what it takes to be anorexic, which is a good thing. It's good to not have what it takes. It's good to be mentally fatigued by it because you should be getting help. Hopefully it pushes people to get help. It took me a really long time to get help for an eating disorder, which I know I have mainly men that watch my videos. Hello, thank you for watching. To the women, I love you too. Thank you for being here. Yeah. I would really, I don't know. I really just think that Ozempic's, it's just it's funny to see how fast marketing was like, yeah, but we can do that. It's like kind of what happened. I don't want to say what happened with the Juul being purposely targeted towards children, but in a way it's very similar to, maybe you're not targeting children, but you are targeting insecure women who are a little bit more vulnerable to this, considering the fact that society has always put weird beauty standards surrounding women, but men can just be fat and it won't be a problem. Despite when men get fat, their dicks look smaller because the fat just covers it and they can't access their dick at that point. Like, who is the dick for? It's not even for them anymore. But, and that's okay. It's okay to be big. I have no problem with it. I think it's crazy that we're actually trying to just extinguish a whole population of people. I think be healthy. And sometimes Ozempic is healthy for people. Sometimes it's not. And we don't need to act like it's a one thing that fix all. Also, like, it's okay. Like, why are we gutting out, like, American, like, maybe American average isn't necessarily, like, healthy, but, like, just average looking people. I don't know. But again, I'm not qualified on any of this. I'm a mentally ill woman on a heavy dose of SNRIs, and I'm painting and talking to you on the internet. Anyways, those are my thoughts on that. So this is what we got so far for the frame. Gonna let that bad boy, I guess, hope to dry for a minute or two. I don't know. Yeah. Like I said, Black Phone 2 sucked. I never really think I went into why it sucked. I think the premise of the movie is fine for the first one enough. Like, okay, dead children are calling him to save him. Makes sense. But in the second one, you're like, we didn't need this. I guess it killed their mother as well, and it was just like, buddy, this should have just been one movie. I hate that instead of creating more original films, they're like, let's create sequels. Or like, and don't get me wrong, I think Hilary Duff is a fine human. Some of her songs are bangers. However, let's all just remember, singing isn't her strong suit. She has built an entire career based off of nostalgia. And it's same for a lot of other people. Like, the reboot of the Good Burger 2, also based off of nostalgia. We didn't need that movie. I haven't seen it yet. I hope it's good. I loved the first Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. I also hate saying the word burger because I've been told I say it odd. So I said it on camera just now a couple times, and it was very vulnerable. I'd like to point that out. You're welcome. But for me, like, I won't be going to Hillary Duff's, and that's okay. I'm glad she's thriving. I hope she is, you know? But, like, it is an entire, like, tour and career based off of nostalgia. I mean, she has, like, they did How I Met Your Father as, like, a reboot with her in it, and again, I have opinions on reboots. I think sometimes it's so beautiful when a story ends, we don't need to reopen it. We don't need to, because it kind of just taints what it was. Like, it'd be like if they made a reboot of Friends. That was enough. We don't need another one. Like, I have never seen Sex and the City. It's crazy because my dad has, and he told me what did he say? He said I'm a Meredith, I think. I don't like that, and I think I don't like that. I don't know. I have never seen Sex and the City, but let me know if you think I'm a Meredith. But the newer reboot of it apparently just, like, makes the franchise looks like it just took a massive shit onto screen to be like, hey, this is still the same shit. It's like, let it die. Like Grey's Anatomy, another show that is just like, this show should have ended 10 seasons ago. They're in their 22nd or 23rd or something. They should have ended, or 21, I have no idea, but one of those. They should have ended 10 seasons ago. Grey's Anatomy was really good when it started and progressively just became a bigger and bigger shit. Like, they also were like, hey, let's have so many plane crashes. All I know about Seattle is that they have doctors that fuck and get in plane crashes. Thanks, Grey's Anatomy. Also, they're all hot. The newer cast, though, is, like, too hot for TV, where it's like, this isn't realistic. Also, sometimes I feel like with TV now, because the camera quality is so good, I'm like, this makes it less of a TV show to me. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I do like a little bit of a grainy look when I watch older TV. But my favorite TV shows, thank you for asking, Monk, I've seen that show back and forth a million fucking times. Law and Order SVU. Law and Order SVU is one of the few shows where I don't think it should ever be canceled. Love it. I hope they just keep it. Love it so much. I don't know what it is about watching rape that makes me feel comfort. I think that's like the fuck thing of a female brain sometimes, but I genuinely love Law and Order SVU. Also, as someone who has survived, yeah, I also hate using the word survivor, because I don't know why, it's always made me uncomfortable, but it shouldn't, you know, because I have survived life up until this point, but it does, I don't know, just the idea of cops that, like, work towards the good of something is nice, because I've never dealt with good cops in that aspect when it came to sexual assault, and so it's very nice that, you know, they exist out there. They exist, or the theory of them existing on screen is nice and comforting. And I'm sure they do exist. I'm sure there are Olivia Bensons out in the world, but I have yet to meet one. But that's okay. I'm sure they exist. I don't know. It's also like this. I don't think I'll be assaulted while watching it. Hopefully, you know, knock on wood. But yeah, I don't know. I just love Law and Order. It lets me check out. I also enjoy things that feel more real, even though it's not real, and they do take some real storylines and change it a little bit. But that show, I hope, never gets canceled. I hope not, you know. It's as someone who has been assaulted, I do find it very nice to feel seen, at least a little bit in media. But again, it's all created by one man named Dick Wolf, which I think is hilarious that he just thinks that much about rape. He probably doesn't. They probably have a different room of writers. I've just never looked into it, but I do, yeah. Anyways, we'll move on. We'll move on past this little talking point here. I've been watching Euphoria recently. The new season, it's pretty good, but it's also a load of shit, because, I don't know, I do think the way it's filmed, I really like. I love the storyline for Rue. I do not, also spoiler alerts ahead probably, but I can't, let me know if you watch Euphoria, because I genuinely wonder if the people that watch me would also watch Euphoria. But, yeah, I truly just love it, but some of the storyline with Cassie is so annoying. I just want her to, she's my least favorite character. I'm like, why is she on there? Why is she still on there? Also, I love that Trisha Paytas was in it. Love her. Also, if you watch me, let me know if you watch her. Live, laugh, love that woman. I think Trisha Paytas is truly the most, you truly see the character growth of someone in real life with her, and I think that's beautiful, because we don't give people a road to redemption that often, and it's nice to see that, you know, she has. I also watched The Crash, which is a documentary about a girl on Netflix who killed her boyfriend and her friend because she decided to drive her car full speed into a building, I think. Yeah. Highly encourage you to watch it. I'm going to spoil it for you. She was found guilty of doing it on purpose, and it's just crazy because you watch that and you're like, yeah, absolutely, she did it. But you realize, I think this girl is enjoying the attention, because like the whole thing was that she was like wanted to be a social media influencer before prison. Now this bitch got a Netflix documentary. There is no way that she isn't like loving this for herself. She's for sure having the time of her life getting to film on Netflix in prison. Like, she thinks she's the hot bitch. And I hope she enjoys prison for hopefully a very long time. It's just insane, because her parents are in complete denial. And you definitely look at it and you're like, oh yeah, this bitch had horrible parents. Because you gotta acknowledge when your kid fucks up, and some people aren't willing to say that their kids fuck up. And I think that's crazy. My parents would be the first to say that I fuck up. Also, I think just like everything, because my sibling is in recovery, but, you know, was an addict for a long time, that, you know, it really does humble parents. But these were parents who clearly just like were not wanting to open their eyes about their child. And I think that is, if you're not going to acknowledge your child has a problem, they're going to keep acting the same way and taking advantage of you. It was really just like, it was crazy, because it's like they're filming this documentary about their child murdering people, and they're just like, yeah, you know, like she would never do that. This is painting her in a bad light. It's like, no, your child did that. You're just in what we call denial, and that is not the river in Egypt. I don't know. It is really sad though that like, it's sad and sick that some of these like murderers, I mean, she killed them in a car crash. I think she wouldn't have minded if she killed herself either. She just like didn't care. It was just reckless. But it's interesting that we're giving, every documentary I watch seems to be more about the killer rather than the people who were killed, which makes sense, because people don't really, as much as it is fucked up, we want to know why people are fucked up, which is why I think a lot of them focus on it. But like, yeah, they didn't focus much on the survivors of this, or I mean the people who lost their lives through this crash. But then when they did, this is what made me feel bad, because I'm a bad person, and I'm trying to be a good person. I try my best. But I was watching this, and they say, one of the victims, they were like, yeah, he had so much potential. He wanted to open up a vape shop. He had a lot of potential. But in a way, it's good the world doesn't get another vape shop. We didn't need that, you know? But it's also like, oh, I feel bad for this guy, but don't say that, because it's going to make me a little less sympathetic. Not sympathetic, but, you know, I'm just like, maybe he sounds like a douche, you know? But that doesn't mean he deserved to die for being a douche. Some people are just douches. I don't know. But yeah, his parents seem supportive. They wanted him to open up a vape shop. I'm like, that's very cute. But also, your parents should have told you to dream bigger. But maybe vape shops are lucrative. Are they lucrative? I see them everywhere. So probably a little bit, but I don't really know. I don't vape. I use nicotine toothpicks. Yeah. I thought I would be able to paint more of this frame on camera, but all I was able to finish is this because it has to dry now for like a while. But yeah. Big nicotine toothpick girl these days. But I don't know. I just want everyone to love each other and be happy and get along. That's how I feel. But yeah. I don't have any road dates coming up right now. And I'm kind of just like okay with that. I traveled a lot last year, which was so much fun, but it finally feels nice to like settle in and just like chill. I've been trying to like organize my house and get that shit looking nice. So that's my big, yeah. I think I'm gonna go to IKEA. I love IKEA because IKEA is an event. IKEA is not like something you carve out an hour for. IKEA is a half a day minimum. IKEA is like going to Six Flags, so it's gonna take a while. You get in there, you walk around a little bit, then you go grab some food, you treat yourself. Ooh, drink a little bevy while, you know, looking at shit. Ooh, am I gonna get this rug? No, probably not, but I'm gonna look at it, hold it, touch it, put it back. And they also have such good plants. IKEA has a great plant selection at an affordable price point. They just don't deliver their plants, unfortunately. That's my number one op with them. But they have a lot of really cute stuff. God damn it, the Swedes really get it. And those are the immigrants, you know, apparently no one cares about. We're not trying to round up the Swedes because they gave us meatballs. But Mexicans gave us tacos, so why are we rounding them up? We fucking eat, there's Taco Tuesday, that's the whitest shit. Do they do Taco Tuesday in Mexico? Maybe, but I know for a fact most of the people I know that celebrate Taco Tuesday are white bitches after work. Grabbing a margarita. Just saying. And how we think them, we round them up. That's not fair. That's not fair at all. That's kind of been what's going on. This was me painting this. I hope you have a blessed day, man. Fucking love you, dogs. Hope you have a great day. Kiss your loved ones, hug them. Have a good night. I hope you guys have a lovely day. Bye-bye.